Good morning, everybody. Welcome back. Third installment of Scott Selections here for Thursday, March 2nd. For again, today's play of the day. Quick recap what happened yesterday. We had a loss in tennis with Jari to win in straight sets at plus 110 on FanDuel. A lot of line movement. Ended up closing at minus 120. Didn't matter. Jari won the first set and then ended up losing the second before winning eventually in the third set. Schwartzman really didn't look great in the entire match, but Jari just couldn't help himself hitting unforced errors, hit a bunch of them. And on top of that, he also went 3 for 15 in breakpoint chances. Had 4 breakpoint chances, I believe, in the second set. Couldn't break through, and he ended up losing the second set. So he picked up a loss. Look for a winner here on Thursday. And for today's play today, going back to the NBA, look at a game between the Clippers and the Warriors taking place at 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And for this match, we're going to take a player prop in this one. We're going to take Kawhi Leonard over 3.5 assists at minus 140 on DraftKings. Time recording of 1 a.m. Eastern Time. Covering is why we're going to take Kawhi over 3.5 assists. First reason, look at the actual last couple of games. This number is way too low. He's had at least 4 assists in 6 of his last 7 games. He's also had at least 4 assists in 10 of his last 12 games. So Kawhi has regularly gone over this number over the past couple of weeks, and I do think as a result, this number is a little bit too low. Plus, we know Kawhi is playing a bunch of minutes, and after they rested him for a decent portion of the early part of the season, it does seem like Kawhi is starting to play almost every game. He's played some back-to-backs, but most importantly, he also has played a bunch of minutes. He has played at least 34 minutes in 10 of his last 11 games. He's even broken 40 a couple of times, and as a result, I think Kawhi should be in line for a pretty long workload based on how important this game actually is, since the Clippers are competing with the Warriors for a playoff spot. Or you can make an argument that half the Western Conference is competing with each other for a playoff spot because of how close the standings are. But the Clippers have lost a couple in a row, and I do think it will be an all-hands-on-deck type of game against one of their arch rivals. Plus, to go through his actual numbers against Golden State, the Warriors have been pretty underwhelming at preventing him from getting assists recently, as Kawhi has recorded at least 4 assists in each of his last 7 games against the Warriors. We know the Warriors aren't exactly afraid of double teaming a guy if he gets into a good scoring rhythm. And I do think as a result, you might see Golden State throw a bunch of different looks at him. They might trap him in the post, maybe send some doubles. But the point is, I do think that Kawhi should be able to find some open teammates who can knock down some shots. And I do think based on the last couple of years, going over 3.5 and 7 straight against the same opponent, I think definitely is a trend that's worth keeping in mind, and I do think it should pay off since Golden State defensively has really been underwhelming so far this season. Plus, Golden State has been mediocre at best at stopping opponents from getting assists. Golden State is allowing the 12th most assists per game this season, so it's not awful, but it's also below average, and I do think that Golden State should once again give up probably somewhere around 25, maybe a little bit more in terms of total assists. And since Kawhi has the ball in his hands all the time, I think he should end up getting to at least 4. But assuming this game is close, with the Clippers being favored by 3 points, so I'm assuming that this game won't exactly become a blowout, so to speak. I do think that 3.5 is a little bit too low for a guy that's going to have the ball in his hands all the time, and for a guy that should play north of 33 minutes. I think as a result, this line is a little bit too low, and I'll take the overs. Play that once again here for Thursday, March 2nd, is going to be on Kawhi Leonard over 3.5 assists at minus 140 on DraftKings. Bye, everyone.